How I feel? Left. What I want?
I love the way she rock her hips. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she pop her hips, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about Sam Howell being the most sacked quarterback through the first 6 weeks of the NFL season, and how I'm a little concerned. And we're also going to hear from Sam Howell himself later in the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for all that. But before we get into today's video, I want to ask that you guys do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on post notifications. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please help me get there as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So through the first 6 weeks of the NFL season, Sam Howell has been amazing in my opinion. Has he been perfect? No, he's been far from perfect. He's a 23-year-old first year starting quarterback, so obviously he was not going to be perfect, but in my opinion, he's the franchise quarterback. Now again, I don't know what this next regime is going to do after Ron Rivera leave. I don't know what's going to happen, but I personally think we've seen enough so far, and obviously he's going to continue to keep trying to be better because he can be better. But through the first 6 weeks of the season, I felt like we've seen enough to say we have a franchise quarterback. Now again, like I said, I don't know what this next regime is going to do. They could definitely move away from Sam Howell, but I don't think it would be smart to do that. But one of the negatives that Sam Howell has had on his name through the first 6 weeks of the season is that he has been getting hit and taking too many sacks through the first 6 weeks of the season. He leads the league in sacks. I want to know where he ranks amongst most hit quarterbacks, because I would assume and put down some money that since he leads the league in most sack quarterback, that he probably, if he doesn't lead the league in most hit QB, he's probably up there too. Now, this concerns me, and I know a lot of fans also are with me in this sense of concern, because yeah, I understand Sam Howell has held the ball along too much, you know, not always going with the correct read or seeing it fast enough, and we know the offensive line has been an issue too at times. Now obviously the offensive line has been better last couple of weeks, but we know at the beginning of the season offensive line had its issues too, so it wasn't all on Sam Howell, it wasn't all on the offensive line, it was also on Eric Bieniemy too, because his play calling kind of allowed Sam Howell to get hit and sacked as many times as he did thus far, because a lot of his plays are deep plays, and when you don't have the offensive line or you don't have the quarterback that's quick enough with the decision making on all plays, then that tends to happen when you get sacked or get hit. And then also another thing that I feel like we're not really paying attention to, or we're not bringing up, and as a reason why Sam Howell could potentially be getting hit so much, have you thought about maybe the receivers are just not getting open? Now, I know we love Terry, we love Jahan, we love Dayami, we love Curtis, but they're not going to win every single match. Now, there's been a few times where I've seen Terry get blocked up. There's very few times of that, but obviously Sam Howell's going to be able to see Terry every play. So maybe it's just a collective effort of everything. I don't want to blame it just on Sam. But with that being said, I am concerned that Sam Howell's taking too many injuries. When you look at the list of quarterbacks that leads the league in sacked, most sacked, it's Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and then it's Sam Howell that leads the pack. You look at those last two quarterbacks I named before Sam Howell, Daniel Jones and Justin Fields, and look where they're at. Daniel Jones is dealing with a neck injury, and Justin Fields got hurt too last week. So I don't want that to be our quarterback. That's why I'm concerned, and I'm hoping the young fella learns. I feel like the only way he learns is if he's just at that point in time, he's going to be tired of getting hit himself. Like, it's but so much we can continue to blame on the offensive line. There's but so much we can put on Eric Bieniemy. At some point, Sam Howell himself is going to be like, all right, bro, I'm tired of getting hit. He's a human, bro, so it hurts. I'm pretty sure it hurts. So at some point, just because it's not clicking now for him, that, you know, hey, look, I gotta get the ball out faster. Just because it ain't click for him now, at some point, this is what I'm thinking though. At some point, it's going to click for him. Whether that's now, whether that's week 10, week 11, week 12, it's going to click at some point where he's like, all right, bro, I'm tired of getting hit. Because even look at the last game we played versus the Falcons. Even when he didn't get sacked, he still was getting hit on plays that he could have avoided, but he's still taking a shot. So at some point, Sam Howell himself is going to have to look in the mirror and say, hey, look, I'm tired of getting hit. I know Monday morning Sam Howell does not feel good. And at some point, again, like I said, he's going to realize that, hey, I got to protect myself. Now, this is what I hope. And this is why I kind of wish I had a plug or a way into Washington media, because I love some of the media members because they ask good questions. JB Finley, John Camp. I miss Peter Haley. He used to do a good job. Mitch Tischler does a good job, even though he's just always there at the media. I wish they let fans. I wish they let content creators ask questions, because I want to ask this one question. I want to be like, hey, Sam, how do you continue to work on not taking so many hits, because you lead the league in sacks right now? How do you work on not taking too many hits, or getting sacked so many times, without neutering your playmaking and aggressing ability? Because when you look at Sam Howell's ability, the reason why he is getting hit a lot of times too is because he's continuing to try to make plays with his legs, trying to extend plays, and always want the big play. And I don't want to take that away from Sam Howell. So I hope with them bashing into his head, hey, you got to get rid of the ball quicker, you got to protect yourself because we need you. I hope he doesn't take it as, all right, look, I can't be aggressive, I can't extend plays with my leg, I can't dive for that extra 2 yards that's going to help us pick up the first down. I'm not saying take that out of his game. I'm just saying be smarter. And I feel like he hasn't necessarily got that specific question worded that way. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they probably asked him questions about why is he being sacked and how can he avoid that, but how can he avoid that while also still remaining his same aggressive ability and extending play ability? Because that's one thing that we love. Because let's keep it a buck, we're fans. We react in the moment. If we talk to Sam Howell and we say, hey, Sam, we need you to stop taking sacks, and then he stops being aggressive altogether, we're gonna be like, Sam, why didn't you take that extra 3 yards with your legs? Why didn't you try to scramble out the pocket? Why didn't you keep the ball on that read option? You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to happen. What I do want to happen is, if he runs, instead of initiating contact all the time, just get down, slide. You don't always have to initiate contact, but I understand he's a tough dude. And again, I'm not trying to take that away from him, but I look around the league. I look at Daniel Jones. I look at Justin Fields. I look at so many other quarterbacks that tends to get banged up. Trevor Lawrence and, Joe Burrow, even though I don't think his happened in the game. You look at those quarterbacks and you have to realize quarterback is the most valuable position on the field. We need you. Without Sam Howell, we're going to be trash. I know a lot of people try to say, oh, Jacoby Brissett fine. No, this isn't Taylor Heineke. Even though Taylor Heineke had to sell him, I felt some sense of comfort with Taylor Heineke to know that we can stay afloat. I don't know if we can stay afloat with Jacoby Brissett at this current moment. I know Jacoby's good for a game or two, but we know, just like we saw in the preseason, that he's going to turn the ball over a lot. So I just want Sam Howell to know, be safe, be careful. Like, I don't want to neuter you. I don't want you to stop making plays. I'm scared. I'm scared as a fan, because I don't want to end up like a Daniel Jones, because I don't want to overreact, because Daniel Jones very well could play this Sunday versus us, but this is the same neck injury that he had a couple years ago that held him out. This thing could linger, and I don't want nothing. I mean, knock on some wood here. I don't want nothing of that, and y'all please knock on wood too if y'all listening. I don't want none of that happening to our quarterback. I don't want nothing. I want my quarterback upright 100% all throughout every season and every game, because without him, we're nothing. And even more so than anything than football, he has to live a regular life after football. After Sunday, after he leaves practice, Sam Howell is a regular human being. So you want him to function regularly like regular human beings. You don't want him to be hampered by any kind of injury. And I understand injuries are a part of the game, but you don't want him to be hurt. Remember, Sam Howell took a huge shot the first very week of the season. Kaiser White smacked him on the sideline. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Sam Howell hurt. So he's taking some shots even when he doesn't need to. And that's what scares me the most. Other than that, like I said, other than him holding the ball too long and taking unnecessary shots and his deep accuracy, Sam Howell is literally perfect. If he can just work on that deep accuracy, man, and get better at that and protecting himself, we got a stud. Now, again, Sam, don't listen to this, even though I know you probably not, but this, maybe somehow you come across this video. I'm not telling you to, not be aggressive. I'm not telling you to not extend plays with your legs. I'm not telling you not to pick up the first down with your legs on 3rd and 3. I'm not telling you to scramble and keep extending the plays down and keeping your eyes downfield until you find open receiver. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is know when to pick your spots, know when to, get rid of the ball. He talked about trying to find incompletions, so he doesn't take his, even if it's not, finding an incompletion, just throw it away. Like you did on that screenplay until at the end of the half, you just threw it at the feet, you threw it at the ground. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking a sack, you took 2 bad sacks back-to-back plays towards halftime. And again, like I said, not all of it is on Sam Howell himself. Some is on Eric Bieniemy, some is on the offensive line. EB has to do a better job at calling plays that's going to protect his quarterback. I'm not saying you don't never have a 7-step drop or you don't never throw deep shots. You do that, but every route doesn't have to be a deep play. You feel me? So that's all I got to say about that. Sam Howell currently leads the league in most sacked quarterback, and I'm concerned because I do not want nothing to happen to my quarterback because we have a guy, okay, and we look at Anthony Richardson. That's another guy. He's out for the year now. We have our guy, and I need my guy healthy, especially if we're going to have some type of success this year. So, Sam, please stay healthy. I'm praying for you, buddy, man, and just continue to play your game. But please, please, please be smarter. Now, that man said, we're going to take a listen to Sam Howell's press conference today that he had. It's Wednesday. Quarterback always speaks to the crowd and the media on Wednesday. So we're going to go ahead and take a listen to what Sam Howell had to say. I'm going to rewind that, and let's get straight to it. Sam Howell is taking it over.
A game-by-game thing, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's only a matter of time. Those guys are all really good after the catch. It's just a matter of them getting in them situations and me giving them good throws where they continue to run. But all our guys are really good after the catch. It's just kind of a matter of time thing.
And then obviously we've asked you a lot about the receivers and getting on the same page. Where do you feel that's at? And also, along with that, like Jahan the other day, he gets to one target. How aware are you of when guys, what kind of targets they're getting in a game?
Yeah, going into the game, our plan is to always spread the ball around to all those guys. We want to utilize all the talent that we have. But at the same time, you really never know how the flow of the game is going to go. And yeah, throughout the game, you obviously kind of who's been getting the ball, who hasn't, and especially after the game. I don't think Jahan had a catch, and so just going to him and just continue to tell him that I trust him. And it's really not anything that he's doing. It's just kind of a flow of the game type thing. It wasn't that Jahan wasn't in the game plan. It's just more of the plays that were called at that certain time and kind of what looks they gave on certain plays kind of dictates where the ball goes. And it's kind of just one of those unlucky things for Jahan. But, we trust Jahan. He's a hell of a player. And I'm going to continue to try to do everything I can to get him the ball.
And that's where I say, I don't mean to cut Sam off right here. That's why I'm saying I put a lot of this on Eric Bieniemy's plate because I understand Jahan has had a drop, in some crucial moments. Philly, then yesterday, or Monday rather, or Sunday rather. Dang, it's already Wednesday. That's crazy how fast these weeks be going by, man. Sunday versus the Falcons, but you cannot stop going to him. You telling me after that one drop, Jahan Dawson, you couldn't have got him going with no quick screen, no end around, no nothing. You couldn't get the ball in the hands of Jahan Dawson not one time. That's why I put it on EB. EB, you have to do a better job. And this is where I thought we were bringing you in to do a better job of getting our playmakers the ball. You know what I'm saying? But again, right now, it kind of feels like a better Scott Turner in a sense. Because obviously I know EB has the potential to be way better than Scott Turner. But right now, he's lacking what Scott Turner was lacking. Let's keep it a buck.
Just like all our guys. But yeah, the good news is there's been no complaints from anybody. Obviously, I'm sure everybody wants the ball more, but at the end of the day, they just want to win. So that's the good thing.
Speaking of getting the ball to people, you and Curtis Samuel have had a pretty good connection so far this year. What is it about his play that you think you guys have been able to, work out a few things, get in the end zone?
Yeah, Curtis is a really good player, and he has such a unique skill set where he's so fast and he can get in and out of breaks so easily. And he puts a lot of pressure on the defense when he's running routes, and I think he can do so many different things, whether it's stretch the field vertically or quick shake routes or quick option routes, stuff like that. He has such a unique skill set that allows him to be put in certain situations, and he's done a good job when the balls come his way. So he's someone that will continue to try to get more and more involved.
And I know when we ask you typically about, hey, what did you see on tape? It's usually from the what do you have to work on side. What do you, when you looking at yourself on tape, what do you see that's just, hey, this is just better from where I was maybe at Carolina, the game last year, or even in some of the stuff early this year? Where do you see that you've really made strides?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm making better decisions, more consistently, I would say, and I'm playing more efficient ball, and I just got to continue to grow and get better, and continue to try to limit the sacks, and avoiding those negative plays. Just because when you have a sack on a drive, most of the time it'll kill the drive. I think we've done a decent job making up for it this year, but that's going to continue to be harder as we move forward. So yeah, I mean, always trying to clean up the sacks and do my job to limit that number. Obviously, it's gotten up there so far this year, but I just got to continue to get better and try to avoid those situations. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a lot of good stuff as an offense that we put on tape that we can continue to build on.
Sam, you made a couple off scripts, especially the screen pass to Robinson, where you had to kind of wait a little bit. I just wonder how comfortable you are with off script plays now and off schedule plays now.
Yeah, that's something that we put a lot of time into, is scramble drill, and when I do get out of the pocket, keep my eyes downfield. And that last week was a big emphasis for us, was when the play does get extended, receivers continuing to work and get open, and we kind of have a plan for where we want everyone to go when the play breaks down. So it's not like backyard football as it might look like. It's we have a plan based on kind of what route they're supposed to be running, and then once I break the pocket, they turn into a different route. But yeah, we put a lot of time into it, and in practice, when our plays aren't there, I try to scramble in practice just to try to get those reps. But those receivers have done a great job just continuing to play and continuing to get open for me.
With regard to the sacks, and this, we always ask you about this, I know, but how difficult is it to fight yourself? Being a competitive person, saying, if I can just buy another second or two, I can get the ball to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but it's just something that I got to continue to get better at, and I think that's the next part of my game where I really need to show growth and development, and I feel good about my ability to do that. It's just a matter of going out there in the games and doing it, and I feel like the coach has done a good job of trying to get me out of that mindset and that thought process, and I feel like I've done a decent job with it. Now I just got to go take it into the games and do a better job of it on game day.
You're obviously not the only quarterback getting sacked a lot this season. I think there's a lot of young quarterbacks who are kind of dealing with that. What's the fine line as you're kind of getting used to the NFL of holding onto the ball, but also knowing not to make a mistake where you're throwing the ball away and kind of making a mistake that's worse than taking a sack?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to make good decisions, and I think sacks are negative plays, like I kind of said earlier. They really kill your drives, especially when you're in field goal range. You can take a sack, get out of field goal range, and just little things like that. I think it's just you got to have good feel for the situation, and obviously you want to get rid of the football, but you don't want to throw it into a crowd or throw it to someone that's covered. So that's one thing I'm just trying to continue to get better at, is if I do need to find an incompletion, just throwing it at somebody's feet, and just find an incompletion and just let the play another down. But yeah, it's just an area where I'm continuing to grow.
There's more close games around the NFL this year than there have been in years past. I know, obviously, you played some close games at North Carolina as well, but you guys have had 4 out of 6 have been, really tight there at the end. What is that like? And have you noticed maybe that there's more close games in the NFL? What is that like?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more than there was in college. Just because in college, I think it's just way easier to score in college, and it's tough to score in the NFL. And everyone has really good players, and there's not from the good teams and the not as good teams, there's not as big as a gap as there is in college. So it's one of those things where you really got to be, on your ones and twos when you get to game day, and you really got to be prepared, and you just got to play all 4 quarters. Because at most of the time in the NFL, it's going to come down to the end of the 4th quarter, and that's why we put such an emphasis on, our 2-minute drill and our end of game situational type stuff, because most games come down to situations like that. But you just got to stay the course for all 4 quarters, and it does kind of seem like in the NFL it always comes down to the end.
Is that an adjustment for you, or what's it been like kind of learning that through experience the first part of the year?
I wouldn't say it's any adjustment. I've always feel like I've been pretty good at just continuing to play the game, but I think just mentally, it is definitely more like you got to, there's not as many easy wins as there is in college, just because of how hard it is to score in the NFL, and obviously everyone has good players, and it's just so even. Both teams are always so even, skill-wise, in the NFL, but I wouldn't say there's much of an adjustment.
Nick Gates going back to New York. I know you guys haven't really got going this week, but you've said how he's kind of a leader for the team and for the offense. How do you think he'll handle a return like that, being an emotional guy? Is that something he's mentioned at all?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it. You know, the only thing we've kind of talked about is he knows a lot of those guys, and he knows kind of how a lot of those guys like to play. But no, I mean, I'm sure he's excited to go back up there and play, and you know, I'm sure he'll do a good job of managing his emotions. But yeah, I mean, he is an emotional player, which it's part of the reason why he's so good at what he does, because he cares so much and he puts so much into it. But no, he won't have a problem handling his emotions.
And what about for you? You kind of keep it calm and cool most of the time. Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, I'm always having fun, and I always you would never really see it on my face, but you know, I really enjoy what I do, and I'm living my dream. This is what I dreamed of doing from when I was a kid, and you know, every single day I come in here to work, you know, it's just so much fun, and I'm just so blessed to be where I am in my life, and it's so much fun to be a part of this team as well. There's so many cool guys in that locker room, and a lot of guys that I call my friends. So it's just so much fun to come to work here every day. Cool. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Sam.
Alrighty, so as always, it's great to hear from QB1 Sam Howell, always showing some love to the team. And sorry if I was behind the wrong side of the screen. I was over here for a majority of it, but I was still here. I should have been on this side, but it is what it is. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. Great to hear from Sam Howell, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about what I said about Sam Howell taking too many hits. What do you think Sam Howell himself can do to prevent himself from getting too many hits and, you know, eventually not leading the league in sacks? So with that being said, as always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. See y'all later. Peace.